Hello everyone. The two concepts in the field of sociolinguistics, diglossia and register, I already discussed in detail in my previous lecture. But some of the students might be confused that what is the difference between diglossia and register. So in this lecture, we'll discuss in detail that how diglossia is different from registered by giving examples. Let's learn today's lecture. First, we will be talking about diglossia. Definition. Diglossia occurs when a society uses two distinct varieties of the same language. So this is the definition of diglossia. When a society or a single speech community uses two distinct varieties of the same language. One language but two different varieties used by the same or single speech communities. Now, what is the purpose? For different social purposes. The two varieties are often quite different. So these two varieties are quite often different, right? Just keep in mind some of the things you have to remember when we are making similarity and contrast between the register and diglossia. So the two varieties of the same language are quite different, with one being used in formal setting and the other in informal everyday situation. So sometime, right, it is difficult for the people, or there'll be less intelligibility, right? Like sometimes it seems like they are speaking two different languages. That much like variation or that much differences exist there. The two varieties, high variety and low variety, seem two different languages. So one is used for what? For formal setting, education, right? Public speaking, media, etc. And one is used in informal and everyday situation. For example, we have example of Arabic speaking countries. In many Arabic speaking countries, modern standard Arabic, MSA modern standard Arabic, is used in formal contexts like news, education, and government. And it is accessible, we can't say accessible, we can say, but it is understandable to all of them, right? And then we have colloquial Arabic. Colloquial Arabic might not be understandable because it varies country to country and region to region. So colloquial Arabic, dialects like Egyptian Arabic or Levantine Arabic, is used for everyday conversation, right? So it varies region to region. Which one? What we call low variety. And high variety, that is same, it is used in news channels, media, and education, universities, school, colleges, etc. So what is the key point here? Then the high variety modern standard Arabic is learned through education and is used in formal setting, while the low variety colloquial Arabic is spoken naturally at home and in informal situation. So how can we summarize this slide? We can define that diglossia is the existence of two varieties of the same language. And these two varieties are used for different and distinct purposes. One variety, which is called high variety, is used in school, college, universities, parliament, news channels, media, etc. And one variety that is called low variety, colloquial variety, okay, and it is used where in informal setting, and it is used for casual or informal conversation. So one that is called colloquial variety or low variety of a language, it is acquired as the first language by the people, okay, by the learner at home, while high variety, it is learned or it is acquired where? At school, college, or university. Right? So far we are discussing diglossia. Now, what is register then? Definition. A register refers to a variation of language use in specific context. So both there are variation. In diglossia we have also variation, and in register we have also variation. But the notion of diglossia is different from the notion of register. See, refer to the variation of language use in specific contexts. Right? But in diglossia, we can't find that it is used in specific contexts. But they say that it is used in a formal setting and informal setting. But within the same language, okay? So, register variation in the same language. Diglossia variation in the same language. But one is societal phenomena, right? Diglossia is a societal phenomena, and register, it is situational phenomena. Fine. So it reflects different levels of formality or specialized vocabulary depending on the situation. So register are usually not as distinct as varieties in diglossia. This is another difference. As we learned on previous slide, that in diglossia the two varieties are quite different from each other, and sometimes they seem that if a person is speaking two different languages. But these differences we do not find when we talk about register. Register are usually not as distinct as in variety as diglossia is. Example, English. The way you speak can change depending on the situation. For example, you are somewhere in cafeteria and you're interacting with your friends, and suddenly your teacher comes to cafeteria, so you switch from informal to formal. So that is like very flexible. So still you see that the changes might not be that much greater. You change just the tone, you just change the style, might be choice of words, because now your teacher arrives there. Fine. Or you're sitting at home with your sister, brothers, and suddenly, abruptly, your father, he enters the room. So you switch again your style, your tone from informal one to, because situation changes. So variation is there, but not that much great like we have in diglossia. So the way you speak can change depending on situation. Formal register. For example, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your assistance. That will be a formal because you're using, see the choice of word, the style of your writing. See the tone. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your assistance. An informal register will be thanks a lot for helping me out. So you are telling your friend thanks a lot for helping me out. And you are telling someone, might be your teacher, might be your boss, might be your manager, that I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your assistance. Now, professional register. Could you please provide the required data by the end of the day? So that's also registered, but a professional, because you're at university, you're at like office, you're in a company, organization. So you're telling someone. So key points. So all these are still the same language, English, but it is choice of words, tone, and structure changes. Okay, based on the context, formal, informal, or professional. So when you are in a formal context, you choose one type of vocabulary. When you are in informal context, you choose another type of vocabulary. And when you are in a professional context, so again you're choosing other types of vocabulary. And your tone also alters. Now, key differences. Variety versus context. In diglossia, there are distinct varieties of the same language, one for formal and one for informal use. We learn this, which are significantly different from each other. Significantly different from each other, right? Sometimes not understandable. In register, the same language is used, but the style or tone changes based on the context. Here we don't talk about the context. Here we talk about the context. Here we talk about formal and informal, and here we talk about the context. So the difference is less about language variety and more about the formality, professionalism, or subject matter, right? In register, right, the differences exist in the language, but it is less about variety. It more about the formality, level of formality, your relationship with the person you are speaking to, and professionalism or subject matter. What are you talking about? Is it like academic writing? It's like academic speech, right? Or it's like a business meeting. Fine. So, what is the subject matter you're talking about? And what is the relationship between you and your interlocutor? Right? So, this, okay, it matters. So, variety does not exist that much, only the level of formality, professionalism, and we can say the subject matter changes. Diglossia and register, some more explanation. Both diglossia and register describe variation in language use. So they differ in scale, function, and sociolinguistic context. They differ in what? In scale. How much variation is there and what is the function? And sociolinguistic context, in which context you are. So diglossia is societal phenomena while register is situational. That is very important. If someone asks you that how can you differentiate between register and diglossia, you can say diglossia is a societal phenomena. Two distinct varieties of the same language but quite different. And one is called high variety, one is called low variety, one is called used in formal setting, one is used in formal setting. While register is situational, right? Variation in the language exists, but not that much. There is only level of formality, there is only tone and choice of words. They change according to situation. Now, what is diglossia? A sociolinguistic situation with two distinct varieties within a community. High variety, as I told, formal, official, and prestigious will be. Low variety will be informal, everyday communication. Example, Arabic speaking communities like standard Arabic, high variety versus local, direct, low variety. Haiti, French, in Haiti, French will be high variety, while Haitians, Creole, that will be low variety. Characteristic of diglossia, high and low variety serve distinct and fixed function, right? The function of high variety, as I told, education, official correspondence, news channel, media, etc. And high variety is often learned formally, not in a native language, while low variety is acquired naturally as the first language. So we can't find such kind of thing in register because low variety is acquired as a naturally first language, but register we don't have such kind of thing with register. Differences may extend to grammar, vocabulary, and social perception in diglossia. Now, what is register? A variation in language based on context, audience, or purpose. So when you change the context, variation changes. When you change the audience, register changes. When you change the purpose, your register changes. Example, formal register use in academic or professional setting. Informal register use in casual conversation. It's not the case like low variety and high variety. One is learned, acquired at home as a first language, and one is acquired in school or formal setting as a second language. But it is something that is situational, context, fine. So they say that formal register use in academic or professional setting, informal use in casual conversation, and technical register use in specialized field like medicine or law and register are flexible and situational. Flexible. We are speaking here, suddenly you change your tone and choice of words when someone else comes, right? Because your relationship is different with that person. Characteristics of register. Here we talked about register, and here we have characteristic of register. Differences are lexical and stylistic rather than structural, and register are part of the same language and easily adaptable based on the interaction of purpose and naturally acquired through exposure, not at home as the first language. Here we have some key differences between register and dialect. So here we have aspect, here we have diglossia, and here we have register. If we talk about definition, so we define diglossia, there are two distinct varieties in one speech community. By single speech community, two distinct varieties of the same language. Register variation within a single language based on context, not like societal phenomena. So here we see that the two different varieties in one speech communities, variation within a single language based on the context. Scale, society, white phenomena. Which one? Diglossia. And individual or situational phenomena, register. It's not individual phenomena. It's societal, large or white phenomena as a whole society. And this one individual or situational phenomenon. Nature of varieties, high and low variety may seem as different languages, and register are stylistic or functional choice. So your tone change and choice of words change. Purpose, contexts are rigidly and assign formal and informal. It's very rigid. It does not change easily. And this one, that contexts are flexible and adaptable. Easily you can change the context and your register changes. Learning, high variety often requires formal education, while register naturally it is acquired through exposure. If you have experience, so you will use such kind of words and tone. Example, here we have Arabic standard versus dialect and Haitian French versus Creole. And here we have formal speech, casual talk and technical jargon. Example of diglossia and register. Diglossia, Arabic standard high variety versus dialect low variety. Haiti French high variety versus Haitian Creole low variety. Register, formal, job interview or academic writing, informal chatting with friends, and technical or medical or legal terminology are used in register. We can summarize the lecture by saying that diglossia, two very different varieties of the same language, for example, modern standard Arabic and colloquial Arabic. Register, differences, different styles or level of formality within the same language, for example, formal English in a job interview or informal English within friends. We can conclude diglossia and register both illustrate language variation. Diglossia focus on societal level language use. Register highlights context-based flexibility in a single language. So together they provide insight into sociolinguistic diversity. So thank you so much. In the next lecture, we will be discussing in detail what is isoglass. So keep watching and enjoy learning and exploring the nature with me. So please provide your valuable comment in comment section. Thank you so much.